Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Living with a $50 Smartwatch. It's 2:14 p.m. on January 8th right now, which means that I've had the watch on for around 16 hours, and that includes when I was sleeping, as this watch has a sleep tracker mode. So let's start with that. When I woke up, the first thing I did was to check whether it actually tracked my sleep cycles, and to my surprise, at first it didn't show me anything. However, when I checked half an hour ago, it actually told me that I slept for 10 hours and 25 minutes, and of those 10 hours and 25 minutes, 5 hours and 20 minutes were deep sleep, and another 5 hours and 5 minutes were light sleep. So I can actually tell you that I didn't sleep for 10 hours, however, I did spend some time in bed working on the first episode of this vlog, and the watch must have counted it as sleeping. And secondly, activity tracking. It tells me that I took 2,557 steps, or I walked for 2.3 kilometers, or I burnt 155 calories so far. That I'd say is accurate, as today so far I went to the school twice and I take the bus, so I have to walk to the bus stop, and then from the bus stop I have to walk to school, etc, etc. So that's pretty accurate, I'd say. So last night I said that it overcounted my steps, however now I think that it's accurate to a certain degree. But I know one thing, and it's that it doesn't count the steps the same way the Apple Watch does. So there's that. It's accurate at sometimes, it's not quite accurate in others. Now it just jumped to 2,643 steps. Even if I took 0 steps, I'm just moving my arm around and it detects that as a step. So tips and tricks in daily use. It still gets me that I can't just tap to wake it up. I need to look at it, and it works sometimes. Also, the raise to wake, it only works like half the time. Again, now it doesn't work, but when I'm standing up or when I'm walking, it seems to be working better. So they definitely designed it for when you're walking or like when you're standing up. That's all good, except if you're sitting and if you want to look at your watch, you still have to press this button, and it's not quite easy. Especially like if you're carrying something or like your hands are full, I don't know. It's just not as convenient as an Apple Watch in that sense, which is fair because it costs 1/10 what an Apple Watch costs. I would still give it a pass in that sense. Other than that, in terms of notifications, you actually get all your notifications. You get to choose which ones you want to get, and it actually shows you everything but the emojis. It doesn't show you any emojis. If you get a message with emojis in it, it just ignores them completely. So you will have to check on your phone. Other than that, it actually gets all the notifications, no matter how long the text is. It gets the emails. It's funny because sometimes I don't get the emails as notifications on my iPhone, but I just get them on the watch, which is very good for me. You obviously can't reply to notifications on your watch. You'll have to go on your phone, but at least it gives you the option to ignore the not so important notifications. One small problem I had last night, and I think I still have it, I don't know how that works, is that when I had the watch on me last night, it vibrated a couple of times, even if I turned off all the notifications, and I realized that it was the disconnect from phone function. Here's how it works. Apple Watch doesn't have it. The watch vibrates and gives you a notification if it disconnects from the phone. In theory, it's so that if you leave your phone somewhere, you'll realize before it's too late. But the phone was like right next to me, and it kept vibrating, so I had to turn it off. And now if I look at the watch, it tells me that it's disconnected from my phone. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up the H-Band app, and bam, now it's connected. All right, by the way, the amount of steps I take is just increasing. Now it's at 2939, it was at 2500. As I move my hand, it keeps detecting more and more and more steps, which is definitely not right. So it actually tells me what time I fell asleep and what time I woke up. It thinks that I fell asleep around 11, whereas I fell asleep after midnight, and I woke up at 7:30, but it tells me that I woke up at 9:40, so we'll see. It's supposed to be synchronizing with the health app on the iPhone as well, if you're into that. Personally, I am, so at least it's giving me the option to keep tracking my activity data, even if it's not that accurate. Aside from that, some basic things. The watch is pretty comfy on my wrist. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't pull any hairs. It's quite comfy actually. It looks good. It doesn't feel great as the material quality isn't great. And the battery, before I forget, it's not in percentages. I have 4 bars right now out of 4 bars. So in theory, it should be between 75% and 100%. We'll see. It's been 16 hours again, and we didn't lose more than 25%. So it should be lasting me for at least 2 days, as I said. That includes the nights. We'll see.